Okay, thanks everybody, thanks for coming along. We were expecting a few more, a lot more, obviously the weather and work has put paid to that. In terms of what I was going to talk about today, the aims of the construction network are quite clear really, and I talk about this every time. It's really to develop a community of tradespeople, experts and suppliers, so we can help subcontractors or small contractors to develop the processes and procedures to actually help them make the cash that they should be making. I'm not going to talk very much about it. If you want to join it, it's getting £40 a month or €400 for the year, and that way you get access to the members only page of the site, which will have all the presentations, loads of free resources like toolbox talks and stuff that you can get your hands on. So if you want to join, come and have a word, and we'll chat to you about it. What I wanted to do this month, rather than go on about the network, was actually talk about something that I've been talking to some clients for the last couple of months about, and that's target setting. Because everybody sets targets, but one of the things that happens is it's very difficult to embed them in the business, and that's when it starts to fail. So what I was going to talk about this afternoon was who would base the targets on. Because if I was to ask you, who's the best tradesperson you've got? Now you would probably say it was you. So everything you do when you're pricing your target is based on how you would do the job, not necessarily the people you have in place who are actually going to do it. So sometimes what happens is that then impacts on your ability to embed the target, because some people will then look at the target and go, you're having a laugh, aren't you? We'll never do that, right? And so it's about actually saying to what impacts on our targets is the ability of the organisation to supply enough work to do the target. Now, an example I'm going to give you is with a tiling company. Now, they have a target that they want the tilers to fit 10 square metres a day. Right? Now at the moment, they're not supplying them with that. And that's only based on an easy job that they can do. So if it's larger tiles, the 10 square metres a day doesn't apply. They'll be lucky to do with 5 or 6 because of the time it takes to fit the tiles. Now the problem they have is that in order to hit that 10 square metres per tiler per day, they have a bid to win ratio of 1 in 5. So their estimating team needs to be estimating to get to 50 square metres per day. So the estimating target automatically becomes 5 times the tiler's target. So if I'm not going to get the 10 square metres a day, I don't have to fit that. I should just fit the meterage I want to fit, or fit enough to earn how much I want to earn. Because sometimes it's the difference between how much you need them to earn and how much they want to earn. So the mindset of the person who's actually doing the job plays into it. So you can give them a target, that job will take you 5 days. If they don't want to make it last 5 days, if they think, wait a minute, I can earn £120 a day and make that job last another day, you've kind of lost out. So the challenge for you is to get the targets down to that level where they're doing the work you want them to do and not necessarily doing the work they want to do. And that sometimes happens because have anybody come across a thing called emotional intelligence? Yeah? So emotionally intelligent people bring far more than themselves to work. So they'll kind of problem solve, they'll find ways to get around issues, they'll just go and work, they just want to go and work. And we all have people in the business that will do that. The rest of them just want to earn what they want to earn. And so the challenge for you is to get them to step up and actually start to address kind of problems, because it's too easy to ask you, how am I going to do this? And the fact of the matter is, 9 times out of 10 you give them the answer because it's easier to give them the answer. And so the mindset of people to achieve them is half the battle. If you can change the mindset, you've got a far better chance of embedding your target and getting people to up their productivity than you have of them just going and doing what they want to do. The last thing is, of course, there's externalities that impact on us, aren't there? There's other things that happen outside. We kind of know that, and I'll use a conservative number here, that kind of 60% of site license managers are probably incompetent. They never get the site to work the way you want it to work. So you're always running behind. You're always held up, there are always delays, there's other people on this actually trying to work in the same place that you're trying to work, which impacts on your ability to do the job. That we can't control. We have to live with it. What we can control is what happens here in terms of getting people to do the job we want them to do. And that's when it comes down to, as we're going on to in a minute, having the right processes and procedures in place to make that happen. Okay. So, the one thing I'd say to you, I'm not going to talk for that long, is when your target's set, you need to think about these three things in terms of how will we embed them. Otherwise, what you'll end up doing is you'll end up looking at your targets and think, I've just not achieved them. And the fact is, you work hard to try and get them, but because we only iceberg, they don't go all the way down. And we need to change the behaviours on site and the way we manage people in order to make that happen. Okay. Right. That's me. That's what I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to hand over to Becky, and Becky's going to talk about the processes. So we've got three experts over here today. It's Becky's one. Number two is Alexa Simon. Number three is Alexa Mark, who's come a long way in an injured car. So we appreciate you making the efforts. All right. Becky, I'll just put this on for you.
Great. Thank you. There we go. So, as Grant said, I'm Becky Stevenson. I'm a business improvement consultant, and I help people to review their business, analyse the operations, the setup of the company, the staff roles, time spent on tasks, how things are done, sort of processes, and help people to map them if they're not already mapped, and then bring solutions. So redesigning roles, looking at staffing models, future growth, introducing policies and procedures, or looking at how things are done and making changes, and implementing free or cheap off-the-shelf software systems, or if it's needed, bespoke software. And also offer advice on time-saving techniques, ways of working, and that kind of thing. So I'm going to bring to you today a case study. So I was approached by somebody, a joinery company, pretty standard kind of setup. So the director, on the tools, dealing with inquiries, dealing with pricing, quoting, sending out all of the information, down to collecting the materials, delivering it to the job. So wearing all the hats within the business. Working 1 day a week in the office, typically on a Friday, 4 days a week on site. So the director's wife was in there doing day-to-day accounts, bit of admin, wages, VAT return, that kind of stuff. Joiner on site, a labourer, and an accountant as and when needed. So the goals for the project, he said to me, I want to spend less time on the admin, so I don't want to work in the office as much. I want to make the processes faster, more accurate, less complicated. And by the age of 60, I want to work 3 days a week, so that's got to include everything. And I want to retire at 65. And I think if we bring these things in, we can make that happen. So what they had, I went in, had a look what they were doing. We've got the email, paper diary, Google Diary, various invoices, inward, outward, electronic paper, an online system which was a cheap, well a free one actually because they were under the threshold, quick file, spreadsheets for accountants, and then tons and tons and tons of paper in folders printed off on the shelves. So we had a look at that and said, okay, how's that working out for you? How's the job getting done? So lots of duplication, quoting similar jobs, staircases, kitchens, they're all pretty much of the same breed. Quoting similar jobs individually, guesstimating quotes. So we sat there going, right, if I'm doing a staircase, I need 50 spindles. I think I'm going to get them from Howdens. I think they're about 120 each. That'll work. Sticking a bit of extra 10%, 20% on it. Manual ways of tracking jobs, i.e. paper diary. And all reliant on the director and what was in his head. So no one else was taking that pressure. And then the wife was very, very protective of her area. Her area was fine, people got paid, jobs got done, don't need any help in her area. She doesn't want to be involved in the project. So as she went off to the kitchen to make us a cuppa, the director said, you've got to get her on board. It's not perfect. We need it on board. We've got to get everything under one umbrella. So already I had this kind of situation where they're both kind of pulling apart in the process. So what we did in a quick way was when we sat down and found the solution, we needed a bespoke cloud-based system which had the following features. So a clear customer record, so CRM, what tracks the job from start to finish. That wasn't in place. Built-in price list of material and labour to draw from to add a percentage of money or materials. Shopping list to take to suppliers, because they didn't want to get involved in the technology. We could have done it all by sending it across to their system, but they didn't want to know that. So we made that simpler. Job sheets for the staff, so they knew where they were going, what they were doing, materials, where they were. Job planning and to-do function. And automated quoting, so it went off by email to the client, they accepted it, they paid the deposit, and they did it all online. Job was finished, they got the final invoice, they paid what was due. Any snagging, any extras that was put on, signed off and approved. And then when the job was finished, getting the testimonials from the client and doing all the accounts linked. And then a full reporting system, so you know how many clients we've had, what have we done, what percentage markup and all those kinds of things. So the benefits, we've got a full picture about each customer. Quotes literally took minutes instead of hours. He was spending all of his Friday and he might have only got 3 quotes done. This was minutes. And it's no guessing, and it's not in your head. Faster buying process with the suppliers, things weren't forgotten. They weren't having to take a trip because they forgot to put some materials on, extra things like that. Clear and accurate information for staff, more efficient, more accurate, touching data once. It's coming across more professional to his clients. You know, it's seamless, it's slick, and that comes across. More likely to get recommended. Less stuff in your head. How can you function if you're trying to remember all of the different pricing amounts for each of the places and who's done what labour and all of that kind of stuff. And less time in the office. So trying to get the wife on board was interesting. So she didn't want to know. So I said, so you know, what do you love doing in your spare time? What are you interested in? So I love going for a swim before work every day, but I only do it 2 days a week, so I ain't got time. So that was my pull point for the wife. If we can get you swimming every day before work, are you in? Yes. So we got her in doing that. She was happy. She bought into the system. She started using it. It increased profit. So all this guessing, I think it's £1.20 it's been done. It isn't, it's £1.29. And you've not put the margin on, and you've not added all the bits and bobs, what you should have done. And then we became a step closer to the original goal. So we wanted 3 days a week by 60, and we want to retire at 65. And we were there, we were getting there. So the learning curves, what we picked up from this, was a new system relies on a full commitment to change the way you work. So when I went in to see this company, they wanted to do things in the old way they did it, but with the new technology. When you're signing up and looking at those kinds of things, you've got to be willing to change, otherwise there's no point doing it. You know, I want to be able to print this out and put it in a folder, but why? We don't need to, it's there, it's not going to get lost. Let's look at it. You need an open mind, so you need to think about your world might be turned upside down. We're not going to just do it the way we've always done it. Be open-minded. And you need to trust your consultant and your developer. You've asked people to come in and help you, trust that they're going to help you in the right way. If you've not got that trust from the beginning and going on, the project's never going to work. And everybody must be on board. If you've got staff members and you've got a team, if they don't buy into this, like the wife or whoever, it's not going to work either. So involve them in the process. Get them to feed into the processes and the systems and what you're already doing and how you can make it better. If they have a voice in it, they're more likely to get on board. And you've got to put in the hours. There's no point saying, I'm going to invest in a consultant or a developer and they're going to make it all right. You've got to put in a lot of hours and a lot of effort to get it to the point and beyond. And a full training plan needs to be put in place for staff and yourself. We're not just going to deliver it to you on day one and say, there you go, off you go, because it ain't going to work. You've got to put in a full training plan. And people always say to me, it's finished now, isn't it? We're done. It's never finished. It'll grow with you. There are endpoints in the development phases, but it's always revisiting it and looking at it and finding ways to keep making it better as your business grows. That's a quick case study from me. Has anyone got any questions?